Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamila Daura. Thank you for clicking to watch this video. If you are new, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, hi. So I'm going to dive into today's topic straight to the point, and you already know by the thumbnail it is about the current issue going on in Nigeria. Body shaming the first lady, the individual that body shamed the first lady, and what is currently happening. I've seen a lot of mixed reactions, a lot of people condemning what the first lady, the course of action of the first lady and her people, and people also, in short, a lot of this thing I've seen is just people blaming the first lady, saying all sorts of things about the first lady and to the first family, and the use of power, the abuse of power, and all those things. And I've not seen anybody that have really said anything in the aspect of what went wrong. Where did the boy go wrong? What makes it okay for the boy to say what he said without consequences? People have been also saying that, it is there is freedom of speech. Of course, freedom of speech, but there is no freedom after speech. There's been a lot of cases that we out there, we don't hear stories, we don't see, we don't read, we don't understand, but we just feel like, in the West all these things happen, and we've not heard that somebody have been held accountable for saying certain things about certain leaders and all that. So when we want to start blaming and start saying this is what is appropriate, like the first lady does not have rights to her feelings and to her actions, and what the boy did has no consequences, that is where we become very hypocritical. People don't understand the extent of damage they do to people when you body shame them. You don't tell people how to grow their thick skin. Just because they are in public faces, they are the first family, they are presidents, they are this, they are that. We hear people commit suicide. We hear people go through serious mental health challenges and issues just because of the way they've been treated by either people they know and people they don't know. We are normalizing behaviors that, even as Muslims that we are, is totally unacceptable. First of all, look at this woman. This woman, since when her husband became the president of Nigeria, she's always come out and spoken against the way things were going on and are still going on in her husband's government. She had suffered I remember one incident where she actually came, in the first tenure when she said something, and these same Nigerians came out and called her disrespectful, that she's a shame to womanhood, that how dare she talk against her husband's government. I will never subscribe to being calling people names based on what they look like, their flaws, and the many things that goes on in their lives that we don't know about. We did not create ourselves. The circumstances that Allah puts us through, God puts us through, we did not choose it. We have no control over the events that happens in our lives and how they happen. There are events that, when they happen, you might, like the whole issue of weight gain. When you know that you're gaining weight, then you hit the gym, you start controlling your diet and all that. But it is not easy for everybody. For one, I was at my lowest of lowest self-image issue last year 2021. That was because a lot of things were said about me that really, in short, starting from the year 2021 was the worst year of my life in terms of how I felt about myself, what I looked like, to the point that when I was making my 2022 goals, the priority for me, my two priorities written here, was love me more, see me more. The reason why I chose these two things as priorities for me was because I have been through so much. I have been through a lot health-wise, that I didn't realize how much weight I was gaining, and I didn't know what was causing I was having double chins. I felt so ugly. And not just because I was feeling it, people were actually telling me to my face. People were telling me that I look better this way, I look better that way, I look better. And these are people that are telling me things that I cannot even control. I cannot tell them that this thing, because when you're coming from Africa, older people can tell you nonsense and you don't have the right to do something about it. I remember having career barely 6 months after I had career. I went to Nigeria and somebody saw me for the first time since I got married. And the first thing she told me was, why did I let my boobs, my breasts grow as big as they were? I was nursing. My daughter was not even 6 months old. Following year was in 2019. I was also in Nigeria barely a year after I had Ansar. With all the suffering I went through with Ansar, I was a shadow of myself. I was just beginning to pick up my life, and somebody saw me again and she was like, am I pregnant? You're fat too. This, that. And thank God for my mom that was there, and she immediately corrected this person. And even this Nigeria that I went this July, somebody still said something to me about my body. And I don't for the life of me understand why we should normalize people commenting on people's body and expect that there is no consequences. But the problem why I have been quiet, to all the people that say the things that they say to me, is because they are aunts, they are family members, they are uncles. When I'm buying clothes, I'm buying extra large, I'm buying 2XL, because I don't want people to see me. The second thing I need people to understand is that I am a woman and a mother. We need to stop actually giving men, whether young boys, young children, young men, or whatever, men, whatever age range, the right to comment over a woman's body. That nonsense needs to stop, because I don't understand. We are women. Why are we doing this to ourselves? You give birth is a problem. You don't give birth is a problem. You lose weight is a problem. You do not lose weight is a problem. You are dark-skinned is a problem. You are light-skinned is a problem. You find men saying that, they would rather marry a light-skinned woman because she is prettier. This is a young boy of 23 years old. The first lady can birth that boy 2, 3, 4, 5 times over. When you think about all these children that she has birthed, even if she wasn't at this size that she is right now, when she have had all her children, and she became this after all of her children, and only when they got into government, does that not beg to ask serious questions like health condition? My body, the times that I was gaining weight without control. I have talked about this on my other channel. I was gaining weight without control. I did not understand what was going on. I never knew that my body was inducing diabetic symptoms in me, because I have an autoimmune disease that could just stop any function in my body. I could sit down. I have lost a child due to my autoimmune. That is because when I'm pregnant, my body can cease to stop giving my placenta oxygen, and it leads to heart block, and my child dies in my stomach. My child have died in my stomach. I almost lost Ansar in my stomach, still due to how my body can wake up overnight and decide that it is not going to function. Let this part of this body function. And I don't know what that would mean to me. There are some of us that are in genuine constant fear of the unknown. You know that you have a health condition, but you don't know when it is going to attack you. You don't know when it is going to cut your life short. You don't know when it is going to throw you into a situation where you cannot control. And it was the same situation that I got myself in when I was gaining weight. I will not eat. I will just be drinking tea, drinking water, eating. But everything I was eating, it was not translating to any weight loss or anything, till I went back to the hospital and I complained to my doctors. They ran blood works and they saw that my numbers were up, and because my body was inducing diabetic this thing on me. And from the medications that I started taking, I started having side effects that was giving me beard, that was giving me hair, excess hair. For someone that is already hairy, to be having hair grow 2 times of what you are blessed with already. How much insecurity do you guys think I live with? There are conditions that we can't all come out and be explaining. We can't come out and start telling you people that this is what I am going through. This woman was not on media for the longest. She was not on media for the longest. Does that not make you all ask questions? Like, is that not enough for us to ask questions? Did we all think maybe she was hiding? Maybe we just assume she was hiding, or because of COVID everybody was hiding. We didn't know what she was going through. We don't even still know what she is going through, and why this is so hurtful to her, that a child that she can born, someone that she does not know, can be so defamatory on her, can cause such aspersions on her person, and we are all very comfortable with it. Islamically, let us even tell this boy to come out today. Let Judgment Day be here, and Allah will ask him, which masses food did she eat? Can you tell us? What if it happens that is not her situation? Have we deeply thought about it like this? They are in leadership. We are their subjects to an extent, for them to provide, for them to protect, for them to do things to make the lives of the citizens better. I cannot answer the questions if they have done so or not, because it is like Nigeria is actually in a trance right now. I don't know what is going on, but I do testify that yes, in my entire adulthood where there's been leadership, I've not seen one that people feel so hard and things have been so difficult like this. And there is no understanding to it. But we did not elect her. She is not the first. She's not the president. She's the first. In short, I remember when they just got into the government, the husband actually did say that there was no office of the first lady. This was how much she was trampled upon. Like, every first lady would come and there will be office of the first lady, and it is her turn, and the husband will be like, there is no office of the first lady. I think till a lot of people stood up, and they talked about it, and the office of the first lady was opened. This woman have spoken up, spoken out, talked about the situation of the country against all odds, making enemies from even her own inner cycle of people that are supposed to be friends and family to her. We just sincerely need to learn to be kinder to one another. We don't know the amount of damages that we are using our mouth. Just because we hide behind keyboard, we can talk things. Now, it is beyond keyboard. Like, you can say for every action, there is consequences. Me, the kind of person I am, is that I try to always remind myself and be conscious of what Allah have instructed me to do. While I don't try to do harm to people, when people do harm to me, wallahi al-azim, I just let Allah deal with that person. That is what all the people that have been saying, do they hurt me? Yes. All the people that have been saying, if you know you have said anything bad to me, if you know that you have hurt me with your words, just know that I specifically sat down in prayer to tell Allah to treat your mess up, whether in this world or in the hereafter. That is why I don't argue. I don't talk unnecessarily. I just don't like confrontation, as forward as I can be. So if people do, because Allah have said in the Quran, when people do things to you, you do what they have done to you in a balance. But Allah is Al-Adil. He's the only just person that individual, how will I put it? He's the only one that can be just. He's the only perfect creator, and that can be just in how he does his things. And I don't know how much I can do. If I say back to somebody what they say to me, will that satisfy me? No, that will not satisfy me. That will only put me on the same, low life level as they are. So it won't satisfy me just to tell you that, well, you too, you're skinny, because you call me fat, then I'll be like, you too, you're skinny. It won't satisfy the hurt that I feel. The only satisfaction that I will derive is for me to go back and pray to Allah in all honesty, to knowing that Allah is going to reward me for that hurt, and do back to that person either what that person has done to me or more than that. Because we can't keep walking the face of this earth thinking that our actions don't have consequences, and we'll be like, actions are judged according to intention, or maybe if he just said it just to troll her, yes. Now this is it. This is just what happens when we don't think about this. See, the sharpest organ, I think this is a hadith of the Prophet about the tongue being the sharpest organ in our body, because of the thing that it can say. It will cut deeper than a knife and hurt deeper than a knife. The way I still do not subscribe to the fact that older people, aunties and uncles, can insult, dehumanize, do whatever it is they want to do to younger people, I will not subscribe to the age where younger people are supported, encouraged to be disrespectful to their older ones. I will never subscribe to that. I have children. I don't imagine this Gen Z thing that we are talking about. Imagine the alpha generations and all those things where people, you want, maybe one day your son too will bring his friend to the house, and you, the mother, your son's friend will look at you and be like, oh wow, your mom's got big butts because your dad's hitting it right. Like, this is the generation we are trying to create. This is the generation we are urging on. This is the generation we are telling that you can say, comment, or this. Imagine this boy again should get married, and he gets married to a skinny girl, and the girl gives birth to one child, 2 children. Before you know it, she's gaining weight, she's putting on weight. Stress will contribute, because all these people, it's not as if they value women. It's not as if they value their wives. It's not as if they value the women in their life, because what little does he know that he have also insulted his mother. You insult somebody's mother, you insult your mother. It is 1-1. It is how it comes back to you. So this one now, maybe his wife will now give birth 3 years, 5 years, 10 years into their lives, into their marriage. Then he will now be like, oh, you're growing fat on my money. I remember when I married you, you were not like this. Now that you have seen exposure, you have seen money, you have seen life, then you're fat on my money. I see this kind of individual doing the same thing on a woman that is under him, because our African men are so misogynistic, and it's unfortunate that women are following into this misogyny. And to just conclude this rant, the other thing I'm going to say, that could this have been handled better from the First Lady's perspective, her office, and the people that dragged this boy to her for this thing? I honestly think that it would have been handled better. I would never bring myself, like I said earlier, I would never bring myself down to the level of certain individuals, most especially when I look at them and there's just a clear cut of superiority in terms of where do we draw the line between being oppressive and actually, giving back consequences for one's actions. And that is why I also said that Allah is Al-Adil, like He is the only one that can be just, that can treat some people's mess up as it should be, like, for lack of better words, He's the only one that can treat people's mess up. Do we think that they do not know that there is the life after office for them, and there is the life with Allah where we all go to sit down and be judged according to all our doings on earth? Do we all think they are void of that? Like, I feel like we should not tolerate things like this. Body shaming is wrong from all angles, and nobody is immune to it. Nobody has that thick skin that when you body shame me, I won't feel it. Even if you're 50, even if you're 60, go attempt telling your mom or telling your sisters that they are fat and ugly and see how they feel. If they tell you that, thank you, my darling brother, come, I'm going to give you a kiss on your cheek and I'm grateful for telling me such things. If they tell you that, then those sisters, those female siblings need to be taken for checkup, for mental evaluation, because there is nobody that will be told that they are ugly, they are fat, they are dark-skinned and ugly, they are short I mean, even before I got married, talking about that short and ugly, before I got married, someone did tell me that, wayo Jamila na hange ki in har kin yi aure kika yi ciki zaki zama yar lukuta da ciki. I am just 5'2", I be 5 this thing, and I be 5'3", and somebody before I didn't even know I was going to marry. I don't know whether Allah had my name among people that will be married in this world, but someone actually foresaw my life, into the future, and told me that amana hangeki in har kin yi ciki zaki zama yar lukuta da ciki. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Like I said, could this have been handled better? Absolutely. I don't see the point in beating him, dehumanizing him. I don't see the point in doing that. Even if I was going to do something like that, I'll just wait till I come out of office first and do what I have to do. Go and pay some. See, sometimes when people even tell me that, look, they know somebody that have offended someone and they want to go gather people to go beat the person, I just tell them no. I tell them no because at the end of the day, you don't know if you'll be able to still do, to do to them what they've done to you in a way that the scale is balanced, and in a way that you are not the one that will end up owing him an apology in the sight of Allah and in this world. And because that is the case here, what if from beating the boy dies? What if from beating the boy dies? That is the ultimate. What if permanent damage and permanent hurt? I know maybe a permanent damage, like maybe a bruise, a cut that will probably never heal, will be a constant reminder, hopefully, for him. But I also hope that he learns his lesson from this and he knows how to treat women better. I felt like the First Lady could have just still been the bigger person and be a parent in this moment, and reprimand in the right way. Invite the boy, invite his parents, ask him questions, let him, stress the hell out of him and charge him to court and make them waste money to prove, because this is a defamation of person or character that is actually an offense that you can charge to court, and you get this thing for settlement out of, they keep, if the boy can, the burden of proof will be on the boy to show that, you people really think this is not a court case. I beg lawyers in the house, let us know, because I do understand that it is an offense that is chargeable to court, that if found guilty, just like the case of this guy, the recent case of the husband and wife here in the US, that she will end up paying her husband, is it $13 million or $10 million just for defaming his character. It is possible. This same West that you people keep saying, in the West they insult people, they do all this. People know what they are paying. We are here, we know the news, we know what people are paying, what people are being sent to court for saying things about people. Some people are very petty and they will charge you to court. They will track you down, charge you to court, and they will do what they have to do. And will the boy have the money to pay the First Lady when a judge say that, start paying $2 million, 2 million naira, 10 million naira for defaming because she can do it. She has the money to charge him to court and hire the best lawyer, win the case, because I don't know if the boy will be able to prove it that she actually immersed the wealth of the poor, of the masses, and fed fat on it. Hopefully the First Lady hears the pleas of everybody that has been begging, to please let the boy go. I want to believe that he has learned his lesson from this experience, and I want to believe that young children out there also learn their lessons from this. You cannot hide behind the keyboard to be disrespectful, to be demeaning, to dehumanize people verbally. We cannot continue with such a life. Otherwise, we will be having a huge problem with the generation of children that we are raising. It is not going to be just people saying it to stranger. It will now become you saying it to your children, saying certain things like this to you, disrespecting you like this. And I would want to know what you would do if your child was to say something like this to you. Bye and stay blessed.
2 a.m. got me feeling myself. All alone, but I'm loving myself. But you